This story is about an incident that happened at a high school where one of my friends used to attend. There was a close senior in the high school where my friend goes, and she was famous for her beautiful looks, high intelligence, and especially good at drawing. Then she eventually fell in love with her art teacher at school. She started to like her teacher, and he refused her love confession at first, considering their status and the difference in age. However, at some point, the two soon became a lover. Then later he started to love her intensely. They seemed to get along well with each other, but as she graduated from high school and went to college, she became more and more tired of him, who was much older than her. She gradually started to hang out with several boys of her age, and soon became going out with a man from a blind date. She ended up saying farewell to the teacher, but he, who was still in love with her, was even thinking about getting married. When she coldly informed him to break up, he clung to her and begged, but her attitude was constant as itself. "No, I think we are like oil and water, and I'm with someone else now, so let's just break up." He realized that it was meaningless no matter how much he begged. He ended up quitting contacting her as if he had given up and was not showing up in front of her for a while. After a few weeks, she got a phone call from him while she was staying alone in her home at that time. "Why did you call me? Don't ever try to contact me again." When she was about to hang up, he replied calmly, "Wait, I need to show you one last thing before we break up." He said like this and then asked her to come out to the front door just for a moment. She got a weird feeling and refused at first, saying that she didn't want to go out, but he insisted that he would wait until she came out and then hung up. Being scared, she called her boyfriend and asked him to come home, and she was waiting in her house for a while. Not long after, he called back, but something he said was strange. "Babe, don't come out of your house. Not a single step." Getting frightened by his urgent words, she was staying at home in fear, and soon after she heard a sudden siren and people talking noisily outside. Her boyfriend soon came to her house and said, "When I arrived at your apartment hurriedly after I got your call, I saw him. He hanged himself in the hallway of your apartment." It turned out that the teacher, who was suffering great misery by her, who no longer loved him, called her in front of the front door of her house, told her to come out, and eventually committed suicide with his neck hanging in the hallway. "The reason I died is because of you." He wanted to show her his last look like that. If she listened to him and walked out of the door, she would have seen him hanging in the hallway from the front door as soon as she opened the door. This incident was eventually put in our local newspaper, and I think it was the most terrible happening in many ways.